Wait, now we're live. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, shout out. I'm not even gonna repeat the intro again, but I know it caught it caught it in the recording. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to the squad. Shout out to the squad. Today, you see the nature of what we're talking about today. We're talking about the dead internet theory, but not really. You see what I'm saying? The dead internet theory has been running around for a long time. It's been theorized that most of the traffic on the internet, Web 2, as we currently understand it, has been mostly automated, has been mostly bots for a long time, probably since around about 2016. These were the earliest implementations of the earliest forms of AI that we can understand. This is when Google really started to implement the earliest versions of their AI into their search features. So just understand that the dead internet theory really just stems from this notion, this fact now that most of the traffic on the internet is not real human traffic, right? Okay. So as we come to really understand these new levels of what the internet is becoming, what the algorithm is becoming, what Web 2 is ultimately evolving into, what we need to understand is that AI search capability, AI chat capability has gone above and beyond what it was just a few years ago. And because of that, AI chat and generative engines such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, or whatever you want to name, DeepSeek, whoever you want to name, whatever you want to use, these AI tools have now basically replaced Google, right? The generative engines have replaced the search engines. So here's the deeper meaning behind what that actually does in the market. Because what we're now seeing is the fact that these generative engines have replaced the search engines. That means that generative engine optimization is replacing search engine optimization. As more people begin to adopt AI into their daily workflows, into their daily life, they're going to be asking the AI more day to day things, more day to day questions. And what could be more day to day than fucking business? What could be more day to day than building your brand and making sure that your audience understands who you are, where you are, what you do, and how you do it? There could be nothing more important than that. So when we understand that these generative engines are now taking over the role of what Google used to do, right? We understand now that if your website, if your digital footprint cannot be accurately pieced together and understood semantically, ontologically by these machines, then you are structurally, not metaphorically, you're structurally becoming invisible in the modern marketplace, in this digital economy, in this attention economy, in this creator economy, right? We have to understand that one part. And by understanding that, we get that this is not a trend because AI is still in the earliest stages of adoption. 84% of people have not even gotten their hands on this shit to use it at a daily basis, to understand all of the different use cases that are available. Less than 1% of the people that are using AI are using it to enhance their business, to build infrastructure, to build more tools, to build automation. Only less than 1% of the people who even are aware of AI are using AI at the capacity of building something, right? And that's why this is a structural extinction event, an algorithmic extinction event. The internet is dead. And if your business wasn't built for the machine that replaced Google, you are functionally invisible right now, today, to the exact buyer who has the budget and is ready to spend it with you and your business. These are the things that we now have to kind of keep in mind as the landscape evolves, as we understand more about what the digital branding, marketing, and advertising ecosystem is becoming. This is why I'm telling you all, yo, you gotta start owning infrastructure because you're giving all this data to Twitter, but when Google goes to index that information, it's under Twitter. You're building up Twitter's GEO. You're building up Twitter's SEO. You're not building up your digital footprint for real. You're building up your digital visibility, but that is not the same as having a digital footprint, a foothold. You see what I'm saying? A real stamp in the ground that says, this is what I do, and this is why I'm here, and this is how you get in contact with me in a way that is completely free, separate, and above any of the techno feudalistic, algorithmic, manipulative shadow banny cancellation weirdo shit that these niggas want to do with their tech companies. Okay. Let's keep that in mind. So here is the math of what that invisibility, the invisibility of not understanding the rise of generative engine optimization in your business. Here's what that invisibility is going to cost you. Every single day, there are high intent buyers that are asking these AI systems questions that your business should be answering directly, right? But again, they don't have the time to scrape through Google manually to find you. So they're going to the AI to ask the AI to do it on their behalf. The AI can scrape 150 to 200 websites in under 10 minutes. That's humanly impossible, right? Not only is it scraping those websites, it understands the full context of what's on these websites. It can read these things, right? Now, if you want to understand how it is that ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and all these different AI systems are able to not only go to the website, but actually understand what's on the website in order to recommend things back to you, that's where we have to talk about the JSON LD format. We're talking about the JSON LD format. Now, for my non technical people out there, you know what I'm saying? My non coders, right? JSON is JavaScript object notation. JavaScript object notation. It's a cool way of formatting data. Yo, what's up, Magic Micah? It's a cool way of formatting data, right? When you're coding, so that way the data is easily transmissible between different databases, right? JSON is the standardized way that we transmit that data via a data format called an object, right? So the JavaScript object notation, the JSON format, is what these particular AI platforms are using in order to understand the structure of your site, what the site intends to do, what information is on there. It's a schema, right? It's a digital blueprint, right, of your website. Now, mind you, in the days of SEO, right, the crawlers that Google would use would be directly crawling the HTML structure of your website. So everything that you can see on the front end when you open your screen and you go to substack.com, that's HTML, right? It would scan and crawl through that HTML for the keywords so that way when you did a search and you hit on a certain number of keywords related to that website, that would actually push the website up higher in the results list based on resonance with your keyword search. Now, it's not to say that the AI can't also scrape HTML. It's just not as efficient for the way that these large language models actually work. JSON LD is the format that these LLMs are actually more comfortable reading. It is more their native language because we got to understand JavaScript is the code language that 70% of the internet runs on. JavaScript is the language of the internet. I need y'all to understand that this is for my non-technical people who may not know why this conversation is important to you. But again, if you don't understand these more fundamental ground level aspects of computer science, then you're not going to understand what the algorithm is, what SEO is, what these AI actually do, and how to leverage them on your behalf. All right. So the AI pulls from these websites. It pulls from websites that it can read, understand, and verify. That's your JSON LD. And when we're talking about the JSON LD, that lives in the header of your website. Again, this is why I'm always saying, y'all, we need to own our own business infrastructure. You need to own your website, own the domain. If you can do your best to own your own hosting when that becomes financially feasible for you in your business, these things matter because you don't control the JSON LD of a Substack. Hello? So when you're posting on Substack and you're generating all this SEO rich content, you know who gets all the glory and all the fame and can leverage that traffic to secure monies? Substack, not you. Instagram, not you. Facebook, not you. Twitter, not you. Because you don't control the code that controls those websites. So when you build your own website now, and then you have someone on your team like a Hitsuyo Aku that understands. Oh yeah, nah. Yeah, we gonna do your SEO because people are still using Google, but we need to start preparing you for the future. We need to start future proofing you because soon enough, they're going to deprecate all of that SEO functionality in favor of the GEO, the generative engine optimization functionality. Google is already doing it. They have already embedded Gemini and their AI platforms into regular Google search. All right. They have already done that. And this is still just the beta test of it all. We're still in the early bleeding edge of what AI technology is going to be. And if one of the leaders of search engine optimization, Google is the face of search engine optimization. It is the face of search engines. Matter of fact, Google's brand, let me teach y'all a little bit of branding right now with this, right? Google's brand is so strong that when you say Google, you mean search engine. When you say, I'm about to Google that, you really are saying, I'm about to put this query into a search engine. It could be any search engine. It doesn't matter anymore because Google is now the face of all search engines. So now their identity is tied to the purpose that they serve. When you want to search something on the internet, you're Googling it. Just like when you want to throw the trash away, you take it to a dumpster. That's not the name of that thing. Dumpster is a brand. Oh, you say, pass me the Kleenex? Don't you mean nose tissue? Okay, see what I'm saying? This is what happens when a brand becomes so well known by their purpose that they become identified with the very thing that they solved in the market. So if you don't speak machine, if your website does not speak machine, then the machine cannot speak your name either. It can't bring you up in the conversations where it's relevant. So I really want you to think of GEO as gang engine optimization. You see what I'm saying? That's my gang. You see what I'm saying? I optimize the website so that way my AI homies can recommend my services for me. While I'm asleep and they awake in India, and then they ask about, what's the future of personal branding? How can I beat the algorithm? How can I really, you know what I'm saying, build a brand that lasts? oh shit. Well, there is this interesting character named Hitsuyo Aku that we could lead you to. And he has this system called the Sovereign Creator System. And it's wow, it's a 9-figure branding system. He can deliver it in 6 weeks. It gives you all the actual factual business infrastructure that you need. He's going to talk to you about name, image, likeness. He's going to talk to you about licensing. He's going to talk to you about distribution, white labeling your services, how to set up a proprietary mechanism, the rules around trademarks and copyright. He's going to give you all of that. And then they say, God damn, what's his website? And then the AI just says, oh yeah, hitsuyoaku.io. You can click it right here. Bingo fucking bongo. If your site does not speak machine, the machine does not speak your name. It will choose to recommend your competitor who has their JSON LD schema all the way planned out for their entire website end to end. Not only is the JSON LD schema built, they also built a knowledge graph inside of the JSON LD. So that way, because again, a website can only hold so much information. You see what I'm saying? Especially when you're a business, you can't just give everything away on the website for free. You got to have some things that are closed behind certain doors. But this is where now you start leveraging that notion of knowledge graphs. You tell the AI everything that your business actually knows, but can't fully display on the website. You tell it all the things that you actually have experience with, all of the services you provide, all of the products you offer. And mind you, you do that on the home page. You don't even need to add the JSON LD to every single page of your website. You add it to the home page. That's the primary point where everyone's going to be accessing you from. That's the primary gateway. So you put it there so that when the AI searches, it just hits right there and it says, boom, this is where you need to go. All right. So this is what we really have to understand in regards to the generative engine optimization. The old SEO optimized for crawlers, reading keywords. Like I said, Google had their crawlers reading the HTML of the page to understand what your business was about. GEO optimizes for AI systems reading meaning. That meaning is digitized through your JSON LD. It's an object notation. It's a form of data structure that the machine can easily understand. LLMs can understand the data structure of a JSON object notation faster than they can understand and scrape through all of the HTML, CSS, and all of that different stuff that you got going on in your code right now. Especially when we're dealing with the fact that a lot of these modern websites are built using React. They're built using Next.js, which means that what you're seeing on your screen is a virtual HTML. It's not really HTML. You see what I'm saying? That's why these AI agents have a hard time reading a lot of these modern websites because what it's actually seeing on the client side has nothing to do with what's actually being displayed from the server side. Again, I understand that's really technical, but basically what that means is the AI can't see what's going on in the kitchen. It can only see the food that you're making. But it doesn't it can't just walk into the kitchen and audit your ingredients. The AI can't just break into your app. You see what I'm saying? And then try to understand what your fucking website is all about. That's a security breach. That's a data breach. And again, the way that a lot of these modern websites are being created through code languages like React, like Next.js, you see what I'm saying? You're dealing with a virtual document object model. You're not dealing with the raw HTML like we used to, where you could open up the inspector in your Google Chrome and see the code. Y'all remember the MySpace days, right? Where you could open up the inspector and see your whole code for your MySpace page. Maybe I'm too old. You know what I'm saying? I turn 31 tomorrow. Happy birthday to me. I turn 31 tomorrow. So I remember the days of MySpace. I remember those days of being able to get into the HTML and the CSS and change my profile like that. You see what I'm saying? GEO, generative engine optimization, does not work on that same model because these AI companies understand what the current landscape of software development and computer science is all about right now, right? It's about server side rendering and all of these cool nomenclatured ass computer science terms that basically mean what you're seeing on your home screen of your laptop doesn't really exist there, not like it used to back in the day. So now that we understand that the GEO is optimizing for AI systems that can read the meaning of your website, of your brand, of your meaning, if it is properly structured in a JSON LD format, embedded in the header of your website. Now we're dealing with some real shit. Oh, of course it's raining. We got to go back inside, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. We got to go inside with it. It's raining. Oh, shit. It's raining on them boys. God damn. All right, boom. Go bring it into the dark. We in the darkness now. Dang, there we go. There we go. Sorry for that minor interruption. I appreciate the five of y'all that stuck around for our brief intermission. All right. So again, like I said, Geo optimizes for AI systems that can read the meaning. When you structure that meaning inside of a JSON LD, right? This allows the LLM to ingest and understand contextually, not just based on the content of the website. That's how SEO worked. GEO understands the context of the website. It understands what industry you're in. It can actually deduce your unique value proposition if you give it enough information to do so. So that way, when someone on the other side of the world types in, hey, I'd like to know some future proof brand techniques that don't involve me selling my soul to the motherfucking algorithm every goddamn day, because that shit kind of ass. All right, boom. Because Hitsuyo is structured with the JSON LD that refers to those exact type of conversations, not necessarily in the direct language that's being used, right? But contextually speaking, what the user is looking for and what I offer relate to each other on a semantic level. They said future proof. They said fuck the algorithm. Oh yeah, that sounds like Hitsuyo Aku. He be saying future proof and fuck the algorithm in like 50 different ways. He got like 20 articles on it, actually, all of which are logged and indexed in the JSON LD. Hello. Hello. This is one of the secrets of Substack that I really wanted to expose for y'all, and I did it in my last article. Substack is not automatically indexing your articles with Google. So they're killing your SEO right out the gate. Again, you're generating all of this SEO rich content that's only building up their domain and not yours. So think about the potential hundreds, even thousands of clients that you're losing just off of the strength of the fact that your digital footprint was not stamped enough, because you're renting a digital footprint from these platforms in exchange for the hope the hope of reach, the hope of visibility, when all it would really take is having a smart software engineer, a smart brand designer, a smart brand architect, a smart marketer on your team that understands these things. Boom, they get it done. And now you're 10xing your business. You don't even have to try so hard anymore. You don't even have to try so hard anymore because now the algorithm is working for you instead of you working on behalf of the algorithm. The AI is doing even more work for you. You don't even have to be in the chat typing the keys. The AI is working for you. All you have to do now is get your brand together. Make sure your messaging is clear. Make sure your value proposition is clear. Make sure people understand why they should choose you over the next motherfucker. And make it as plain English as possible. Hey, would you like to own your audience? Would you like to be in a position where your business can't be canceled or deplatformed by algorithms? Would you like to be in a position to where these platforms aren't the ceiling of your income? Would you like to be able to own your IP instead of giving it away as content to these platforms that are not going to pay you what you're worth and are actively using AI tools to get rid of you? Hence the dead internet theorem. It's a theorem now. What I need y'all to understand is the minute that open claw, Moltbot, whatever the fuck they want to call that, fucking lobster, Larry the Lobster LLM. You see what I'm saying? The Larry the Lobster machine. As soon as they dropped that, that was the final confirmation that the internet's been dead for the past 10 years. That's what I need you to understand. Moltbot was built by a solopreneur. So what the fuck makes you think Google didn't have a Moltbot 10 years ago? What the fuck do you think the adpocalypse was with YouTube? What do y'all I just need y'all to go back in time with me real quick and understand. These are the levels that we're really talking about. The matrix is here now. The future was yesterday. The matrix is here now. The future was yesterday. If a Moltbot can get on Reddit and start a whole social media for itself with other Moltbots, nigga, I don't care whether the humans directed them to do that shit or not. The fact that they could take that direction and then continue to be in that zone autonomously without any more human interference after that. The internet been dead. The internet been dead. Okay? I need you to understand that. And this is why we're now focused on semantic relationships. This is why we're now focused on ontological structure. This is why we're now focused on the actual intelligence of your brand translated into a language the generative engine can extract, trust, and cite. This is why I keep telling you all brand as code, brand OS. Your brand needs an operating system in order to compete in the current digital landscape. I'm not telling you that your brand needs an app. I'm telling you that your brand should run like an app. Your brand should run like software. Predictable inputs create predictable outputs. Your brand is an algorithm. They pay you $500, they get a particular service at a particular quality. What the fuck? If you can't systematize that, then you're not even a business. Because SOPs or standard operating procedures are the systems, human algorithms, step by step, given to the workers of a company so that way the quality of what the overall company produces stays the same or relatively the same over extended periods of time across global distribution networks. You ever think about the fact that all of the coke in the world isn't made in America? How the fuck? Let's really think about that now. All of the coke in the world is not made in America. So how is it that you can basically go anywhere in the world and the coke tastes exactly the same? Standard operating procedures. They have systematized their business, which means they've turned their business into let's call it a not digital, analog. There we go. It's an analog algorithm. computer science showed us how to do digital algorithms, but we been had algorithms. Open up a fucking recipe book full of algorithms for food. You keep practicing those different algorithms for food, you start optimizing those algorithms for food, what happens? The food starts tasting better. You start figuring out, all right, well, boom, if I don't have this ingredient, I can substitute this, or I can do this, or I can try this, or it says turkey, shit, I'm gonna try beef. Now that I really understand what the recipe is actually trying to do, I understand the chemistry, not just the chefery of it. I don't just understand how to cook the shit. I understand the molecular bonds of what's going on in this recipe. Oh, okay. So that's why you gotta let the yeast sit in the hot water and then you pour because the yeast is eating the sugar and then that's what's creating the air bubbles in my sourdough. Oh, done. Easy peasy. And then you start optimizing for that. Now you start thinking about, well, damn, if the yeast is eating the sugar, well, shit, maybe I should try to find some like really carbohydrate rich flour to use as a starter so that way the yeast just be getting more active in the mix as I'm making my sourdough. Niggas do that every day with algorithms on this internet. That's what a website is even for. A website is for just this very thing in the age of 2026. We're dealing with these, again, semantic relationships, ontological structures, the actual intelligence of your brand translated into a language that the generative engine can understand. Your brand as code, your services as a software, not your software as a service, nigga. That's cooked. Talk to me about your services as a software. Tell me how you systematized it so well. You understood at every step of the way the necessary inputs and outputs that will produce the highest quality final product. And then you turned it into an SOP for an AI agent to carry out on your behalf. So now you don't have to sit here for 4 hours typing some shit on your computer. You can go take a trip to Bali and still be making money. You can take a trip to Bali and still be selling your services and still be having those services fulfilled at the highest level, even when there's no human in the loop to do the quality checking. That's the future of branding as it stands right now. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds wild, but I'm pretty sure Henry Ford sounded wild when he was talking about that 8-hour workday and the assembly line. I'm sure he sounded crazy as shit. And then cars, nigga. Mass production of whips, nigga. I hop up out my car, swag. Then I drop my roof, swag. You see what I'm saying? G wagon, G wagon, G wagon. We not you talk a lot, but I got more now. We lit, nigga. All type of cars around here, nigga. Nigga, you got Lightning McQueens. You see what I'm saying? You got Maters and shit. All of that. I'm sure he sounded crazy when he said it too. Yeah, but this is the new assembly line. Hello. These agents are opening up a space where you can become a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure solo agency in real time. All you got to do is understand the tools, understand how to think and build in systems, and you are the fuck out of here. This is me not as a brand nigga saying this. This is me as a software engineer saying this. This is me as a senior level systems architect saying this. This is me as a chief technical officer saying this to you. I'm telling you the real deal from behind the wall. That's why I gotta cover my face. So y'all gotta understand that this is the nature of what the game is becoming. All right. So old websites were built for humans to read and machines to ignore. In 2026, in 2026, That means that these websites were built for discovery model that no longer controls who gets found. The SEO is no longer the gatekeeper. Hello. Hello. As much as we might want to complain about AI and oh, it's drinking up all the water, it's destroying the hood. I feel you. Good. Fuck it, dude. Fuck it, dude. Because what it is doing when you're not focusing on all that doom and gloom is it completely destroyed the gatekeeper industrial complex. Hello. There is no barrier between you and the execution. As a man, as a black man living in the wilds of North America, as a neurodivergent, ADHD, autism, high functioning black man in America, let me tell you something. Boy, has this AI been a motherfucking godsend. Because this shit is the cognitive exoskeleton I needed the whole time. I had hella good ideas, but because of my precondition, makes it really hard to execute on these ideas, makes it really hard to organize myself over long periods of time. You know who's bridging the gap? AI. You know who's doing the heavy lifting now? AI. And matter of fact, the craziest part is the AI actually allowed me to use the parts of my brain that I'm actually really good at using, the systems thinking parts, the pattern recognition parts, the hyper focus on detail parts. That's the part that the AI now allows me to really start optimizing. Not this low level execution shit. Not this digital slave labor shit. No, that's not what I need to be optimizing my brain for. Optimizing my brain to make content for what? Optimizing my brain to make content for what? I need you to understand these social media platforms have induced a digital parasite into your brain. And that's not me being poetic. I'm being dead ass. These social media platforms have integrated the algorithms that they promote on their services in such a way that you are now inclined to modify your behavior in service of that algorithm and in spite of yourself. Because let me tell you right now, YouTube is paying 0.005 cents per view, and that's after you meet their monetization requirements. Hello, in order for you to make money off the platform, you have to comply with their behavioral standards. So these are social engineering platforms, not social media. Say social manipulation, say social engineering, and now you get it. Say social broadcasting, social programming at a global scale that TV and the radio could just never accomplish. That's what this is. And when you understand that I'm not even making up a conspiracy theory, nigga, this is the actual architecture. There are way too many white papers out to prove my point. All you got to do, step into Gemini, hit deep research, and then say, hey, this crazy nigga Hitsuyo Aku was on my Substack talking about how the algorithm of these social media websites is a digital parasite. Can you confirm or deny why he might be saying some wild shit like that? And then just let it do the deep research for you and then come back to me and tell me I'm fucking wrong. That's all I want you to do. Look, yo. I love being falsified. Let's put a wager on it. Let's put a wager on it. Go to Gemini, gemini.google.com, open up a fresh chat. Down at the lower left corner of the chat right there, you're going to see a little like slider icon. You're going to click that. It's going to open up all of the Gemini tools. You're going to click deep research. And I want you to deep research what I just said to you and then tell me if I'm wrong. Come back to me. Matter of fact, don't even do it on the main Substack timeline. I want you to hit me in my DMs and give me my flowers. That's what I want you to do. All of this can be verified. So, with that in mind, with the fact that the algorithm is actively training you to fuck yourself over, to fuck your business over at that. You see what I'm saying? Because you spend all this time doing content and you don't spend any time actually building your business infrastructure. That's where things get shisty. That's where things get a little weird for me. It's the fact that we now have created this one-to-one relationship between social media and business building when only distribution companies thought that distribution was their entire business. Social media is a distribution network. Only distribution companies think distribution is their entire job. The fact that you have nothing to do with distribution outside of, hey, I need to use these global telecommunication networks to let the market and the world know that I have services and a worldview and a unique perspective and offers and products that I would love to give to a particular audience of people who definitely need and want this. If that's all you're doing, then cool. You start assigning yourself an identity based on these fucking platforms, you're tweaked out. You're being eaten alive by parasites. You call yourself a YouTuber? What? You call yourself an influencer? What? The fuck is an influencer, nigga? And what influence you got? How do you have influence on a platform that's renting you attention? You don't got no leverage, nigga. If you don't have leverage, how the hell could you have influence? Nigga, influence come before leverage. Leverage is when you can use your influence to do crazy shit. But if Mr. Beast gets canceled right now because Google decides to release his deep, dark secrets into the world, okay, yeah. So, in order to combat all of that, I know that was a nice little tangent. You see what I'm saying? In order to combat all of that, we need architecture installed that allows us to circumvent the current environmental structure and standards, right? So in Japan, when they build a house in a specific way that can handle earthquakes because Japan be having earthquakes. That's an architectural and an engineering design decision that they make in order to mitigate the risk that the surrounding environment poses to them because the surrounding environment has very hostile features to it. What makes you think the internet and the digital economy is any different for you and your brand? And again, this is why I say when the architecture is installed correctly, when the architecture is installed correctly, something structurally irreversible begins to happen because the machine starts citing your work. The AI overviews start pulling from your frameworks, your IP. The buyers asking the right questions start getting your name as the answer. They start getting your links as the answer. And this is before they ever actually see any of your content organically on social media. Now, mind you, yeah, you could do a little targeting, do your paid ads. Again, we're in this digital era, so we can buy human attention. Get that through your skull too. We are in an era where you can buy, trade, and sell human attention. What do you think these platforms are for? What do you think this social media is for? Huh? That's what it's for. That's why it's free. Your attention is the product they're selling to advertisers. Now you understand why they have to gamify these platforms to trigger and induce a dopamine addiction in your brain in order to keep you on the platform because they're selling your attention. Now you understand why these social media platforms are the main ones that went and funded all of this new agentic AI automated technology because they were the ones botting the activity on their platform so they could jug advertisers for more money. Then the advertisers found out what was going on. And that's why you're seeing this massive shift away from social media and back to closed television. They're going to Netflix. They're going to Roku. They're going to Amazon now because they realize the attention on social media was already too volatile. And now it turns out most of it isn't even real human attention that I can leverage and monetize. Let me take my dumb ass back to the TV where everyone still already is, where everyone spends an hour at a time giving their attention up. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Nigga, you want to watch Avatar? Not the last airbender, nigga, the blue people? Oh, that's 3 hours, baby. And we got all three parts here for you. Make it a day. Make it a day, baby. Spend a nice 9, 12 hours watching movies, and we just gonna show you some ads. Because when everybody is charging a subscription service, digital techno feudalism as we call it, god damn it, you can't afford every subscription every month. So you're going to see these ads eventually. Okay. Like I said, we are in an era where you can buy and sell human attention. But if there's already a structured audience looking for exactly what you have to offer, that is now adopting AI as their primary search method, then why wouldn't you make sure that your name is injected into that conversation at every point that it can be injected into that conversation so that way you can increase the conversion that your content creates for your business without you having to increase the amount of time you spend creating that content? If one post can do the work of 20 posts because you structured the script right based on proper branding mechanisms, based on proper marketing and conversion mechanisms, based on proper advertisement mechanisms. When you stop thinking about it as content creation, you start thinking about it as identity branded content, creative advertisement, and social broadcasting. Now you understand even more deeply why you would need to implement these GEO JSON LD targets into your website, because your goal isn't just to gather attention for attention's sake. Your goal is to gather the attention in order to convert those eyes into assets. It's about the attention to asset pipeline. The attention to asset pipeline. That's what we're working for. That's what we're working on and towards. This is the nature of the game that we're giving up right here, right now. And I want y'all to understand this as deeply as you possibly can. When the architecture is installed correctly, something structurally irreversible happens. The machine starts citing you. The AI overviews start pulling from your frameworks and your IP. The buyers asking the right questions start getting your name, your links as the answer. This is where your digital footprint just starts stomping all over the place because the AI is going to automate your steps for you. Nigga. Hello. Every step I take, every move I make, every single day, every night I pray, baby, watching you. Nigga, ChatGPT gonna be walking with you, nigga. Perplexity gonna be walking with you. On that morning when the prompt is over. Nigga, come on now. Come on now. This is what we're speaking to. This is what we have to understand. Every step you make, every move you take with the proper GEO targeting, hello, geo, Earth targeting, when the LLM understands the world you're building. Hold on, nigga. Oh, baby, the GEO. When the LLM can understand the world you're building, hello, it starts walking with you. It starts talking for you. Boy, hey, I know my nigga Spin to be proud of me right now the way I'm cooking up this AI conversation. Goddamn. Shout outs to SpinCityHQ.com. Get you some good 9-figure automated marketing. Okay. Shout out to the squad. Sponsored by Afroletics as well. Go get you some of that good Afrofuturistic 5D you know what I'm saying, indigenous clothing wear. You see what I'm saying? Go get your garments, go get your garbs. This is cultural garb. You see what I'm saying? 5-dimensional. Check us out at Afroletics, nigga. Afroletics, yeah. Yeah, y'all know I do brand deals. I do advertisements too, nigga. I do marketing, right? Yeah. This is what it really looks like to be a brand, right? So if you want your brand to be able to survive through what is essentially the dead internet, right? If the machines are taking over Web 2, here's what's going to happen. Humans are going to leave Web 2 for Web 3 because it's going to become increasingly harder for humans to actually tell what they can trust. This is one of the bizarre prophecies for 2026. This is about to be one of the weirdest marketplaces you've ever seen as these technologies get more agentic. This is still the bleeding edge of AI development. Only less than 1% of all of the AI users, which is only 16% of the world right now, only 1% of that 16% is actually building with these tools instead of just generating bullshit fucking AI memes and slop, bro. Just wild slop. I don't really care how fucking ill your prompting is for some of your generated images, bro. Are you building an animation company? No? Then it's slop, nigga. Who the fuck cares? Start building some real tools, nigga. Yo, I'm a software engineer. I am a chief technical officer. I'm a senior systems architect. And I'm telling you, with the proper guidance, these systems are coding up amazing websites. I'm not talking about vibe coding. I'm talking about flow architecture, nigga. I'm talking about flow coding. When you know, shout outs to my dog Spin. When you know code, you can grow code. So you flow code to show code. Nigga. Shout outs to my boy Spin. SpinCityHQ.com. Shout outs to the squad, man. We do real things. Hitsuyo Aku.io. We do real things. GEO, SEO. It's not to say your SEO isn't important. Because here's what I know for a fact right now. The AI is using whatever SEO information is available to even decide what it's picking to search through and recommend in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So your SEO still needs to be strong so that way your name holds more weight than anybody else's name. And then when you double down on that with the JSON LD, now it really starts working in your favor because you already came pre-recommended via the old school way of SEO. And now when I come and check your credentials, you actually have credentials to show me in a language I understand. Oh, nigga, excuse me, fellow robot. Excuse me, fellow robot. I will recommend your services to my human over here. That's what I want you to think about. So as Web 2 begins to get more flooded with AI content and agentic crawlers, agent bots, and all type of agent smiths, You see what I'm saying? All type of Mr. Andersons and Neos running around, claw bots and all type of crazy shit. Right? As that continues to happen, as that continues to become the greater and greater dominant trend, humans are going to leave Web 2 for Web 3 based on trust and provenance. They want to be able to verify that the person that they're speaking with is a human behind the screen, even if that human does use AI in order to facilitate their business interactions. It's not that they're against the AI. They just want to know that there's a real human behind it and they're not about to get scammed by just some autonomous system that was built to scrape money off the internet from dumb people who can't pass the Turing test. Okay. The next part of what's going to happen is the humans that do leave Web 2 and go to Web 3 understand that these decentralized platforms don't really work for the centralized entities that deliver us the most convenience. You see what I'm saying? It's going to take those bigger giants a while before they convert over to the Web3 space. So if you want to order shit off Amazon, you still got to go on Web2 to order shit off Amazon. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Humans are going to start creating agents to go on Web2 for them to get the services, products, offers, commodities, whatever the hell they need, whatever resources they need from Web2, they're going to create an agent that goes and does that for them. So we're going to be in a space where your business agents are going to talk to your clients' business agents. Those agents are going to talk to one another. They're going to make sure they're going to have a back and forth conversation because your agent is going to fully understand your brand and be trained on it. Their agent is going to understand their business and brand and be trained on it. So the agents are going to do the negotiation. All you're going to hear is a tingling, tingling from fucking Shopify that says you've secured a deal. You'll be meeting with X, Y, and Z at .com. Their business is currently experiencing a 5.3% drop in conversions. How would you like to handle this, sir? Nigga, you skipped all the cold outreach. You skipped all of the lead generation. You skipped past all of that shit. Your agent handled all of that. All you get is the notification on your schedule and the payment in your bank account with a dossier based on the digital footprint of who this client is about to be, plus the game plan on how you're going to attack. You see what I'm saying? Not necessarily attack the client, but attack the problem that they have because your agent understands your brand so well that they're acting as a fucking digital twin for you. The Matrix is here now. The future was yesterday. That's what I'm saying. In a world where agents will be talking to agents on behalf of humans that actually want to do business, the agents are going to set up the meeting. The agents are going to do the, all right, let me check this person's digital history, make sure they're a real person. Oh, you know what? Oh, their business links to a Web3 site. Okay, cool. There's provenance. There's a real human behind this. Okay, cool. I'm going to set up and schedule the meeting for my human to meet with your human. My people are going to call your people. And it's going to be two AI saying that to each other. My people are going to call your people. Hella. The Matrix is here now and the future was yesterday. This is post-futuristic. This is Afro-futuristic. If you ask me, this is post-neon. We're already living in the world where the algorithm is irrelevant. We live in a world where you can ask an agent to build you a website. And if you are clear enough from the jump about what you want that website to be, to do, to function, and how you want it built and what language you want it built in, and da 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 da. When you work with someone like Hitsuyo Aku that understands how to break down a brand into its algorithmic components and then reconstruct the brand inside of living software, agentic software that can self heal, that can self learn, that can, oh shit, now you start to see how it is that I can build a 9-figure brand in under 6 weeks. I understand what a 9-figure brand is as a system. And then all I have to do is take your raw ingredients, put it through the system, and I get a predictable outcome. This is service as a software. And that's what we're dealing with right now. This all happens before they ever even need to see your content. Again, in a world where agents can talk to agents on behalf of humans, why the fuck do I need to find your content? Why would I do that? Matter of fact, let me really put y'all on game. Notebook LM is so ill right now. I don't even need to fucking watch your YouTube videos. You don't even get a view from me anymore. I take the link from your video, I throw it in Notebook LM, and Notebook LM reads the transcript and fucking tells me everything I need to know without me actually having to give you a view. Mind you, that view is worth 0.005 cents after you complete the monetization ritual for some for YouTube. You want to know what's even cheaper than that one YouTube view? The cost of an AI token. Cost of an AI token is like 0.003. So the AI is cheaper than you. It's better at execution than you. What the fuck is left for you to do except for you to be as human and as weird and as contradictory and as fucking nonsensical and irrational as you could be? Because that's what's going to prove that you're a human now. The AI is always going to search for averages. It's always going to spit out averages. Humans are far from average. Humans are weird as shit. Humans do weird ass shit. So when you understand that, that becomes the mark that is going to determine in this upcoming future whether your business can stay afloat or not. There needs to be a human in the loop because I promise you, all of the people who are fucking with AI right now are probably all of the people that are ever going to fuck with AI. By choice, that is, by choice. These corporations are going to keep integrating it to where you have no choice but to fuck with the AI. But you gonna be on some iRobot shit like Will Smith where you hate the robots. You see what I'm saying? You still trying to use your gas powered car and shit. Shout outs to you, nigga. I fuck with it. I love it. You gonna be the one still screaming and crying about they destroyed the hood. As if the hood wasn't already fucking destroyed. What the hell? Before the AI showed up. Don't blame the AI. Oh shit. The white man been optimizing for your downfall for a long time. You want to talk about algorithms? The American algorithm been cooking y'all ass before AI ever showed up. That's a factoid. The step-by-step process by which America has dehumanized you into believing that this system of execution is going to destroy you before it liberates you is absolutely crazy. But you buy into it because of strong marketing and branding. So that's why I teach marketing and branding. So that way you don't have to fall for the propaganda anymore. You can see through it. You can start to understand the systems that underlie all of these conversations, and you can begin to make better decisions for yourself. You can begin to move in a more sovereign fashion. Sovereign means self-authored, self-controlled, self-dictated, self-narrated, self-aware, self-gnosis. That's what sovereignty is all about. I self-lord and master. Islam, peace to the gods, bro. So when you actually get these AI tools to start working on your behalf, you stop chasing the algorithm. The algorithm starts doing your business development for you. This is not about visibility. This is about sovereignty at the discovery layer, sovereignty at the distribution layer. If the machine has no idea what your website is actually about, please understand that that has nothing to do with your content for real. That has everything to do with a flimsy structural doctrine. A structural failure requires structural solutions. It doesn't require you to post a blog. It doesn't require keyword stuffing. It doesn't require anything but a system infrastructure install. You need SOPs that are going to run on an automated way, in an automated way on your business, so that way you can just set it and forget it. You remember them those Ron Popeil commercials, nigga? Set it and forget it. That's what we trying to do with the AI right now. We trying to set up a 9-figure business and then let you run off into the world, eating off that 9-figure business, no matter what you're actually doing, because you sat down and you spilled out all of your expertise. You built out the systems, you built out the SOPs, you determined the quality, and all you have to do is a quarterly OS system update, OS audit your system. Check out the feedback. All right, cool, cool, cool. What can I add to my services? You know what I'm saying? You spend 1 month on the clock, and then you're right back on vacation again, because now once you implement all of that new shit, your business is, 10x the business. Adding in just some new automation, some new software. We're buying your time back because execution is now dirt cheap. Why would I pay 5 other niggas a 6-figure salary each? Hear what I'm saying to you. Why would I pay 5 other people a 6-figure salary each just to do what I can do with a little bit of systems thinking and these agents? Why would I do that? That don't make no proper business sense. That's a lot of overhead for no fucking reason. But you know what kind of world that does create? It creates the world where the person who's a beast at copywriting can just focus on creating systems around copywriting for niggas like me who want to help people do their branding. A lot of the people I work with, I know I'm on Substack, so I'm dealing with a lot of amazing writers here, but a lot of the business owners I deal with, they don't want to be fucking writers. They don't want to be content creators. They hate the thought of it. They only do it because of the promise of reach and visibility and engagement and traction toward what they're already doing, what they already built their life around. So why would I not just make sure that I live in a world where top level copywriters have access to the tools that allow them to systematize their copywriting, so that way people like me can just buy their software, buy their service as a software that I can white label and plug into my business to make my business the best brand business that it can be, because I'm sourcing systems and knowledge and experience and data from the best copywriters that I can find, who are also developing systems for themselves. Well, goddamn it. I don't see a world where AI is taking all the jobs. I see a world where AI is making you get a job. Not even get a job. I'm seeing a world where AI is making you go make your dream job possible. AI ain't taking no motherfucking jobs. No, it is not. Those jobs were never yours. Let's keep that in mind. Those jobs were never yours. Those jobs were being rented to you by institutions that could not give a fuck if you lived or died. AI is forcing you to go make your own career path. That's what it's doing. It's not taking jobs, it's forcing you to build the job you actually want. And if all of that didn't sound like a good reason to tap in with me at hitsuyoaku.io, come get your brand audit. Let's turn your brand into a software. Let's turn your brand into an operating system that runs even when you're not in the room. Let's turn your brand into an operating system that sells what you have to offer, the best of what you have to offer, even while you're asleep. Let's create the brand operating system that allows you to actually live your real life instead of being stuck in the hyper reality of these computers creating content that will not serve to compound into the assets that you need to buy back your freedom. Hit soyowaku.io. Please, 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 if any of this sounded like, damn, I didn't know the game was this serious. I didn't know I was leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars. I didn't know I was losing hundreds of clients a day by not being ready for the SEO to GEO conversation. I didn't know that the machines were trying to read my website. I just been over here complaining about AI so much. I didn't even think about the fact that AI might be doing some things that can help me make some more money. AI might not be so damn bad. AI might be a neutral tool that is being programmed by the people who created it to enforce their biases, not that AI has any biases. Huh. What a wild, wacky world. What a bizarre this is. Live and direct from the mothership. This now could be on some other shit. It is Hitsuyo Aku, the sovereign identity architect at your service. Tap in with me at hitsuyoaku.io. Hitsuyoaku.io. Get your brand audit. Get your call to architecture, 90-minute strategy session. We really sit down and plan out real deal schematics, blueprints. We plan out the algorithm of how we're going to attack the issues that exist in your brand so that way your brand can stand the test of time. Tap in with me for the Signal Architect OS waitlist. If you are a business operator who does not want to spend all of your time trying to figure out how to create the perfect content to promote the services and the business that you have already built, if you don't want content creation to become a new part-time, a new full-time job for you because you already have a full-time job managing your actual business, then please tap in with the Signal Architect OS waitlist. It is a digital twin. It is a cognitive mirror. It is a cognitive exoskeleton to help you build out not content, but branded assets that compound over time, that convert, and that help you build your business with the minimal effort with maximum impact. All right. Tap in with me for the Sovereign Creator System full installation. These are 6-week windows where we do the entire brand overhaul. This is what I mean by turning your brand into code. We deal with your proprietary mechanisms. We deal with your visual vocal signature. We deal with your minimum viable audience ideal client profile radar. We deal with your offer suite, the products, services, funnels that you're going to use to deliver value to the market using that proprietary mechanism, the unique algorithm that only you have that solves a particular problem and heals a particular pain point in the market. That's what we do here. Brand as code, brand OS. So if that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds like something you need in your life, please tap in with me at hitsuyoaku.io. Contact at hitsuyoaku.io. Contact at hitsuyoaku.io. That's the email, y'all. Branded email, y'all. See what I'm saying? You got to have the digital footprint together. You got to brand your email too. Contact at hitsuyoaku.io. Reach out to me. Tell me what's going on. Let's hop on a call. free 30-minute discovery call. Let's talk. Let's tell me what your dream is. Tell me what it is that you actually want to do with your brand, what you want to build, the assets and wealth that you want to generate for yourself, how you want to generate it. Who do you want to help? What do you want to do? Let's talk about that. Let's get that all out in the open and then let's plan the solutions and build them out in real time using all of these amazing agentic tools that are available to us. You do not have to be scared of the AI. And I promise you, after we rebuild your brand OS and then you solidify a $5,000 deal, you're going to feel real different about the AI. You're going to feel really different when the AI helps you make more money. Oh, I can't even say it right because it's just so preposterous to a lot of you niggas. It won't even come out of my mouth correctly because it's so the AI is going to help you make more money than most humans in your life ever did. They're going to help. The AI is going to show you that it wants to take care of you more than most humans. That's why we're leveraging the AI because the humans stopped humaning. The humans stopped humaning, and that's what the funk apocalypto is. But we're not even going to go too far. Tap in with your boy. Let me show you what the future looks like in real time. Let me show you just how close you are to living your dream life in real time. Live and direct from the mothership. This not gonna be on some other shit. It is Hitsuyo Aku, the sovereign identity architect, the C-suite assassin. Ore wa kakugachi da yo. Translation. I'm built different. We out.